If you're gonna be a baddie, at least have a good excuse. Hey guys, it's Phoebe with WatchMojo. Today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 dumbest villain motivations in movies.
You were trying to trick me.
We're taking a look at big screen antagonists whose motivations were crazy, silly, or unclear. Warning, spoilers ahead. Let's get to it. Number 10. She doesn't like kids, we guess? Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Setting aside her resemblance to a large pale toad, Professor Umbridge does very little to endear herself to anyone at Hogwarts, addressing pretty much everyone she thinks isn't up to snuff in a very condescending manner.
And how lovely to see all your bright, happy faces smiling up at me. I'm sure we're all going to be very good friends.
That's likely.
When we first meet the Hogwarts Defense Against the Dark Arts professor, she's unjustly cruel to Harry Potter, and even causes him to scar his hand. She uses spells and potions on her students to get what she wants, but what exactly is it that she wants?
That's right. Because you know, deep down, you deserve to be punished.
The ambitious but prejudiced woman seemingly treated all of her students like dirt because it so pleased her, and wielded her ever-increasing power to fill the void inside of her.
I'll make short work of this.
Bombarda?
But what we still can't understand is why she had to be so mean about it all. Number 9. The Mandarin is actually an actor. Iron Man 3.
Here's a little holiday greeting I've been wanting to send to the Mandarin. I just didn't know how to phrase it until now. My name is Tony Stark, and I'm not afraid of you. I know you're a coward.
When classic Iron Man nemesis the Mandarin was slated as the villain for Tony Stark's third solo installment, audiences were excited to see what menacing gravitas Ben Kingsley could bring to the role. However, a mid-movie twist revealed this decoy Mandarin as merely an actor hired by Aldrich Killian to take credit for various terror attacks.
Don't hurt the face, I'm an actor.
You got a minute to live, fill it with words.
Just a role. The Mandarin, see, it's not real.
The narcissistic Trevor Slattery's motivations were shown to be nothing more than fame, drugs, and women, which seem a little thin considering minutes earlier we saw him take out someone on live TV. Marvel eventually backtracked, referencing the real Mandarin in the 2014 short All Hail the King. So here's hoping they do this villain justice in 2021's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
You see, there's somebody who wants to meet you.
Do I know him?
No. But you took his name, and now he wants it back.
Number 8. To save herself from the threat she created. Suicide Squad.
You want to put our national security in the hands of witches, gangbangers, and crocodiles.
Don't forget about the Joker's girlfriend.
Talk about a self-fulfilling prophecy. This government official will do whatever it takes to get what she wants, and that includes forming a team of supervillains to perform missions in the name of national security.
Damn. That is just a mean lady.
Yeah, you get used to it.
However, when things don't go according to plan after the mystical enchantress escapes, Amanda Waller's extraction ends up becoming Task Force X's next mission. It doesn't take superpowers to figure out that bringing together once jailed metahumans could potentially backfire, and yet she's ultimately the cause of what happens in Suicide Squad, and then has to find a way to keep her screw-up from coming to light, as well as herself alive.
How are you not dead?
We just saved the world. A thank you would be nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Number 7. Creating an addictive product. Catwoman.
My husband and I have decided that it's time for me to step aside as the face of Hedera.
After model Laurel Hedera is replaced as the face of her husband's cosmetics company, she focuses all of her energy on pushing an anti-aging cream called Bioline.
I was everything they wanted me to be. I was never more beautiful, never more powerful. And then I turned 40 and they threw me away.
While the product could make people look more youthful, it also causes faces to disintegrate if not used on a constant basis.
I can live with it being addictive, but these side effects from the long-term studies...
That won't happen if they keep using it. And we'll make sure they do, because that's where the money comes from.
Of course, if applied regularly, the user's skin becomes rock hard. Hedera recognizes that these side effects would effectively force repeat customers and ensure a constant cash flow.
Okay, do me a favor. Stop using this.
Why?
Because it's making you sick. Trust me.
However, the number of lawsuits that she'd receive once people discovered the truth would erase her profits and surely get the product banned from stores. Hedera may be blinded by greed, but the FDA would see her in court. Number 6. Becoming the biggest news company. Tomorrow never dies. Elliot Carver wants his media network to be #1 in the world.
Gentlemen and ladies, hold the presses. This just in. By a curious quirk of fate, we have the perfect story with which to launch our satellite news network tonight.
So he agrees to orchestrate a war between China and England in exchange for a broadcast advantage in China. But if Carver has enough influence to manufacture a global conflict, couldn't he create virtually any story? Or use the blackmail he has on the US president?
Call the president. Tell him if he doesn't sign the bill lowering the cable rates, we'll release the video of him with a cheerleader in the Chicago motel room.
Inspired, sir.
Carver surely could have achieved similar results by less catastrophic means.
And what do I expect in return? Worldwide domination. Complete, utter, total worldwide domination.
A Bond villain's motivations haven't been this insane and idiotic since Dr. Stromberg tried to trigger nuclear war and restart civilization in an underwater base. And honestly, that sounds reasonable and well thought out next to Carver's conceited plan.
You really are quite insane.
Number 5. Protecting an unknown dimension. Fantastic Four.
Rudimentary. Elementary. Is basically a child's drawing.
In 2015, the disappointing Fantastic Four reboot reached its lowest point when Dr. Doom reappeared. Victor Von Doom gets trapped in an extremely green dimension for a year, where he gains mysterious superpowers. After scientists bring him back to Earth, he's told that they want to explore the world he lived in. Doom reacts by ending the lives of everyone in the room and vowing to destroy the Earth.
If this world must die, so that mine may live, so be it.
Maybe Doom's year-long isolation drove him crazy enough to think that this was the only way to defend his new green home. Or maybe he just really felt like destroying Earth. Honestly, in a film with so many issues, Doom's lack of clear or reasonable motivations isn't worth dwelling on. Number 4. Selling sci-fi real estate. Superman Returns. Live-action Lex Luthors sure love their real estate schemes.
He said, you can print money, manufacture diamonds, and people are a dime a dozen, but they'll always need land. It's the one thing they're not making anymore.
In 1978's Superman, Luthor almost set off a massive earthquake in California to turn the land he bought in Western America into his own property.
Millions of innocent people would be killed. The West Coast, as we know it, would fall into the sea. Bye-bye, California.
But his plot is far worse in Superman Returns.
You act like you've been here before.
Luthor discovers an alien crystal that can grow larger in water. He tries to make a crystalline continent off America's coast that would expand, causing billions of casualties and creating expensive property. Luthor's plan has the added bonus of spiting Superman, but there surely must have been more practical and profitable ways to use these crystals.
The rest of the world will be begging me for a piece of high-tech beachfront property. In fact, they'll pay through the nose for it.
There's simply no way to justify taking billions of lives for profit. Number 3. Robbing big targets. The Home Alone franchise. A successful thief should be unpredictable and keep a low profile. Harry and Marv fail miserably at both in the Home Alone film series. In the original, they want to rob Kevin McAllister's house because it looks profitable.
I'm up here, you morons! Come and get me!
Despite encountering resistance from Kevin, they keep going back, which gets them caught by the police. After escaping jail, they attempt to rob a popular toy store in New York City for a quick payday. However, they tip Kevin off, allowing the kid to catch them again. The duo has successfully robbed easier targets before. But instead of being notorious and successful, they become infamous for getting tripped up by traps and overambition.
You guys should have started earlier. The prisoners have already exchanged gifts.
We missed the presents? He made us hide out in the store so we could steal all the kiddies' charity money.
Number 2. Trading dinosaurs for dollars. Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. The morally bankrupt Eli Mills decides to auction off dinosaurs as tools of war. There, we said it.
If the entire run of our sorry history has taught us one irrevocable lesson, it's that man is inevitably drawn to war.
And sure enough, it sounds silly. After selling creatures he took from the original island, he shows off the new Indoraptor hybrid prototype. Although the dino's creator, Dr. Wu, cautions against it leaving the auction, Mills sells the dinosaur anyway. Mills' terrible decision comes 3 years after Wu's Indominus Rex hybrid went on a rampage. If the reckless scientist is telling you to keep a dinosaur inside, you should take his advice. Furthermore, Mills had already made millions from selling other dinosaurs that night. His irresponsible greed made his T-Rex death a fitting dose of karma. Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom has a lot of issues, not only the dumb villain motivation. Before we get to our dumbest number 1 pick, here are some honorable, or are they dishonorable, mentions.
And as Earth dies, remember I will always, forever be Shinzan of Remus. And my voice shall echo through time long after yours has faded to a dim memory.
Holy smoke, he's a tomb! Surprised? Not really. That lame brain freeway idea could only be cooked up by a tomb.
Millennia ago, the most ruthless of their kind, Malekith, sought to transform our universe back into one of eternal night.
Green isn't after the oil. He wants the water.
We can't leave it like this.
It's one dam. He's creating a drought.
Just what I had in mind. Everything dead on Earth except us. A chance for Mother Nature to start again. Behold, the dawn of a new age.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Importing alien parasites to save humanity. Venom. Venom is supposed to be one of Spider-Man's greatest foes.
Eyes, lungs, pancreas. So many snacks, so little time.
But Eddie Brock was his own worst enemy in Spider-Man 3 when he submits a Photoshop picture of Spider-Man to the Daily Bugle that gets him fired and leads to his seeking revenge on Peter Parker.
Parker, you are such a Boy Scout. When are you gonna give a guy a break?
You want forgiveness? Get religion.
What's going on here?
Are you guys alright? However, it's not the titular character of the 2018 solo Venom film we're talking about here, but genius inventor Carlton Drake and symbiote leader Riot, who bonds with the Life Foundation CEO.
Oh, God! Where's Venom?
That is the ugliest looking thing I have ever seen.
Though Drake and Riot share the desire to bring the symbiotes to Earth, it's only Drake who hopes that higher life forms will be created when the extraterrestrials find human hosts.
Look at the world. What do you see? War, poverty, a planet on the brink of collapse. I would argue that God has abandoned us.
Riot, on the other hand, is only looking for another place to keep them alive. In other words, more sources of food, and that can be Earth or other planets. Save humanity, alien parasites? Yeah, it makes no sense. I feel like one conversation between Riot and Drake would have cleared the whole thing up. What'd you guys think of our list? Let us know in the comments below and check out this video.